shows toilets to titles. We give fantasy football advice to get your crap team to the finals. From Nate's cousin Eddie Persona and his unapologetic love for Chubb, and Justin's hatred for Chris Ballard, our show is as good as a belly rub. Mark is the best of the NFC West, putting down Penguin Pete with his love for the Rams. Grab a whiskey or a beer, we're glad you're here. Welcome to the family, but plan for gibberish and rambling. We have recent news and games of the week. We talk PPR and weekly streams. Start 'em and sit 'em, keep 'em or quit 'em. Hit the like and sub buttons for the fellas. Got any suggestions? Just tell us.
All right, welcome back to Toilets to Titles. Actually, a pretty nice beat with that one. I got to admit, once the word started, it got a little iffy, but then the beat dropped again, and next thing I know, Mark is dancing in the green room. Another one that's way off from what I was going for, but I kind of liked it. So what was the genre this time?
I was gonna go with club music. Like I felt like I was in the club getting bottle service, you know, because that's a normal thing that I get. But yeah,
yeah, that $4,000 bottle of champagne delivered just straight to you. No, that was Super Bowl halftime show because this is Super Bowl week, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and it was the best that it could come up with. But I did like the beat, but we appreciate our friends AI for that one. Super Bowl week. Not excited at all for the game or the players involved or anything like that. So I thought, you know what, today I'm gonna get a little bit excited for the game by bringing up some prop bets and some ways for some guys to make some money on the game. Because at the end of the day, if you don't like the game's play or the team's playing, you still want to try to find a way to make it as interesting and fun as possible. So we've got some bets for you that we're going to be placing. Before that, some NFL recent news, but honestly, I think I want to start off with your news from your team. You know what I'm talking about, man. You've got the tribute name there. Let's have it out, man.
Yeah, it's very sad news. I think last show I even mentioned it. I mean, right after we got eliminated, it was the biggest elephant in the room. Were we going to bring the full squad back together? Was Cooper Kupp going to get traded? Well, news came out. He posted on his own Twitter that the Rams had informed him that they will be shopping him immediately. But they're gonna do right by him. They're gonna work with him, find him a place he wants to go and can still compete for more championships. But it was just one of those things where, like, as a Rams fan, a lot of us expected it, but we were hoping we were wrong because I feel like there's just certain players that should never go anywhere else. And I know that's not realistic and now in today's time, but I just don't want to see him in another jersey. And just want to say thank you for everything that he did and give a little stats on one of his greatest seasons that we've ever seen. Jamar Chase had an insane year this year, won the Triple Crown. He had 127 receptions, 1,700 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Well, Cooper Kupp season, the year we won the Super Bowl, his 2021 season. Let me pull these up. I don't want to get anything wrong here, but he had 178 receptions, 2,425 yards, and 22 touchdowns, which is just insane when you think about it. Most receptions in a season, including playoffs, 178. He has the top. Behind him is Michael Thomas with only 156. Most receiving yards in a season was Larry Fitzgerald's greatest season with only 1977. Cooper had 24-25. Insane. He's second on the list for most touchdowns in a season with 22. he's tied with Jerry Rice and behind Randy Moss, who had 24 at number 1. Those are insane people to be up there with. And I want to, let me find the other stat that I found was he's the only player to have at least 130 receptions, 1,800 yards, and 20 touchdowns in an NFL season. The only receiver to ever have all 3 of those stats. Just insane. One of the greatest receivers to ever play the game. May not see another like him, but it's going to be hard watching him in another jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, a long enough career where he was good enough for a long enough period of time, and to have that one season that was even better than any of the rest leads me to exactly what our man Rich just posted. He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. We're going to be seeing him at Canton at one point. At least we'll get to see his bust up on the wall with other greats of his kind. Yeah. So yeah. We all love Cooper Kupp over here. It's kind of hard to hate an Amish man that was able to make a career in the NFL. Like that takes a lot of talent. I'm going to go down the list of all the different news as if the Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Chiefs wasn't already a joke. Trump will be attending. So we've got that. Mason Crosby announces his retirement. Pretty sure the NFL did that for you, buddy. Kirk Cousins says that he's unsure of his future with the Falcons, but he feels like he has a lot of football left in him. It's just kind of a shame that he didn't show that to the Falcons. Where's that game at, homie? Before I go on, you want to comment about any of that?
No. I mean, yeah.
See, I feel like I'm being negative. We had so much positivity with Cooper Kupp. I feel like I need to bring us down just a little bit.
I mean, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I know you say you're not. You're trying to find ways to get into it. I mean, to me, it's still the Super Bowl, and hate the Chiefs as much as you want, but I mean, we're witnessing greatness before our eyes, and we're gonna look back on this years from now and say, "Wow."
I don't know. That's what they told me about the Patriots run too, and I still find that one laughable as well.
I think there's a lot more people that don't hate Brady as much as they used to now that he's retired. Maybe that's not the case for you, but I don't know.
Did you see the interview where Jameson Winston asked Saquon Barkley where he should go play football next season?
Say that again?
Did you see the interview at the Super Bowl this week where Jameson Winston asks Saquon Barkley, because he was working for Fox, I guess. He had a Fox microphone, and he asked Saquon where he should play football next year. And Saquon's response was, "I hear the New York Giants are looking for a quarterback." Oh, man. He's loving it. He is trolling him.
The only interview I saw with Jameis was him interviewing Sirianni, and Sirianni was just the typical douche that he always is.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's as much as I've grown to hate the Chiefs, I have to root for them this time. Because, like, there's nothing good about Philadelphia except for the feel-good story of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I can't find anything good that makes me want the Eagles to win. So, and there's nothing good that makes me want to see the Chiefs win either, but I want to see them lose less than I want to see the Eagles lose. So I guess that's the world I live in right now. But
let me ask you this. What does Kelsey wear to the game? A Chiefs jersey or Eagles jersey?
Oh, you mean Jason Kelsey?
Jason Kelsey, yeah.
I mean, he's not going to wear anything. He's going to be shirtless and cranking out beers in the suites. So it's eating his chunky soup. We've got several Chiefs this week that have been asked about the referee. I mean, it's taken the rest of the football world to wait until this week to finally start asking these tough questions. Of course, the NFL's denying it. Of course, Roger Goodell and the referees commission are all denying it. The players think that it's a laughable joke, but I mean, come on. There's been way too many incidences where it seems so obvious. And I get the numbers. Like the referee committee said something like every single NFL team will never see the same referee crew more than twice in a season. So that would have to mean that there are a ton of different referees that all have this out against the Chiefs. But no, it doesn't. It literally does not. It has to be one bad apple in several games over, like, so one bad apple for 2 games here, another for these two, another for these two. It doesn't take that much for the NFL to be able to twist and turn just a couple of calls. And then when you get those calls and you get instant replay that shows the call should go this way and proves it should go this way, and it still doesn't go that way, then you don't even need a referee on the field to mess it up. Like the one referee in New York that's calling the shots, for all we know, that's just Roger Goodell in black and white striped pajamas, sitting on his recliner saying, "Yeah, no, that wasn't a first down. Let's move on." Like, it's just, I don't know. It's way too shady, way too sketchy. Fix your shit. You know what I mean? Like, just let's just fix it. Speaking of which, potential Super Bowl MVPs this week. Potential Super Bowl MVPs. And I know we're going to get into prop bets, and I'm sure there's probably some of that on there, but just without prop bets, like who do you think? If the Eagles win, is it going to be Saquon, or will they have to get that passing game going to be able to pull off this victory enough that it's an AJ Brown or a Devonta Smith or Jalen Hurts? Like who do you like for the Super Bowl MVP if the Eagles win?
If the Eagles win, it has to be Barkley. I don't see any chance they win without Barkley having an insane game.
Yeah, I got that too. Some of you were tuned in to watch the screen that I had up here while we were on hold here, but oh yeah, here you go. Here's another good reason to watch. Watching for the commercial at halftime. I like it, Rich.
You want to talk about halftime real quick?
Sure. What do we got?
That's going to be insane. So we got Kendrick Lamar performing at halftime.
Kind of at his peak right now, too.
At his peak, but also in the midst of a huge feud with Dre, where all his top set songs are basically just nasty diss tracks against Dre. So he won a Grammy for Not Like Us, which is basically a song just calling Drake a pedophile. And the whole crowd at the Grammys, like,
we're singing
the song as he got the award. Now, picture that with all of America at the Super Bowl. And Drake was talking about that he's going to sue Kendrick for defamation of character or whatever. Well, is he going to have to hand all those subpoenas out as the fans leave the stadium, because they're going to be saying the same thing? I cannot wait to watch this to see how much of the stuff he actually performs against Drake, because he's got to do it.
Yeah,
that's why he got the.
Well, I mean, you kind of get what you deserve in this world. I agree with you on the Saquon side, and then of course on the Chiefs side, if the Chiefs win, I'm making no bones about it. The MVP is obviously going to be Ron Torbert, the head ref of the officiating crew. He's going to be the Super Bowl MVP for the Kansas City Chiefs. But of course, they're not going to want to don that on him, because that would look bad for the NFL for admitting it. But so they're going to want to give it to their pretty boy. They're going to want to give it to Mahomes. Unless Kelsey somehow gets 2 touchdowns, then they'll maybe give it to Kelsey if Mahomes has an otherwise bad game. But they usually give it to the quarterback in most situations. I agree with the Eagles, though, because Saquon is that entire offense. He's completely changed the face of this team. So, but other than that, it's typically a quarterback.
Last non-quarterback to get an MVP? Last non-player named Mahomes to get an MVP?
Was it after Desmond Howard?
No. Cup.
Oh, okay. Well, it was after Desmond Howard then.
Oh, yeah, after. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. There you go. There you go. Rumor is Drake warned the NFL on a if they allow Kendrick to play at halftime. Yeah, Rich got it. He got cup. Hey guys, speaking of, I mean, that wasn't really a competition. Rich is just a smart guy, but I do have a little bit of a competition going on right now. A little contest, not competition, but a
Ooh, boy.
contest over on Blue Sky. You guys can follow us at Toilets and Titles on Blue Sky. I recently posted right before we came on here. If you go to that post on Blue Sky, you like that post, and you comment on that post, then you're going to get put in a drawing for a free Frankenstein entry next season. But that post, what you have to comment is about the article that I tagged in there. Our man, Dynasty Dog Mike, went to the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama this past week. He had a hell of a fun time. He was sending us pictures and interviews that he was doing, and he put together an article. Our man Joe Clark from the show, he's our editor. He posted that on the website. I believe it was earlier today or late last night, but it's posted. It's up. It's live on the website. So you got to click on that link in Blue Sky, read through the article real quick, and answer the question that I posted in there on Blue Sky. Like I said, follow us, like the post, give that short comment in the comment, and we'll put you in that drawing for that free entry into Frank. But that's at Toilets Titles on Blue Sky. You can also hit up my man Mark here at MT Simon on X. We've got at Nate_Dirt19, who is not with us tonight, but I'm sure that he'll be laying down some prop bets as well. Let's see. And that article, it's over at toiletsandtitles.com, of course. Patreon.com/toiletsandtitles to help supporting the show. We really appreciate that. That helps keep the lights on and keeps us moving forward. So we absolutely appreciate that. But I think the people are here for prop bets, Mark. And I didn't write any down because I was skimming through them. There's a lot of prop bets. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to look for your first one. But what I liked on DraftKings, what's that?
I was just going to say, I have a few already to go, but
right on. Well, I'm going to give mine first, my first one, and then I'm going to get up and grab me a beer while you talk about yours. But I'm close. I'm still listening. But on DraftKings, they got the Swifty specials. I don't know if you saw that, but that's kind of fun. And the very first one, right off the bat, because it looks like all of the prop bets are named after Taylor Swift songs or albums, and the first one was 15, and it's Pat Mahomes to have 15 plus rushing yards and 215 plus passing yards. I don't think that one's even a question. I think that's obvious that he will obliterate both of those numbers. And the bet on that is at -175. So I would definitely drop a bet on that one. I think they had 15 and just had to try to figure out a way to work in a bet somehow. But I think that one's pretty obvious to me. 15 yards rushing is nothing. That's one scramble and he's gone and picks up a first down and he's got 15 yards, and then 215 passing yards. I mean, their passing game's a lot better than their running game. They're definitely going to get it going in the Super Bowl. So
yeah.
I think that one's obvious. You go ahead and talk about yours. I need to grab this beer.
Okay. So just a couple basic ones. Travis Kelce, I expect him to have a big yardage gain. He's only at 60.5 at -110. I think you lock that one in. Another one you might be surprised about, but he's been heavily used in big games. Like in the games the Chiefs are in close games, he seems to come out. Juju Smith-Schuster, he's only at 16.5 yards. I think that's another good play there. Another interesting one, and I like the odds. I think it has very good value at +180, a successful 2-point conversion during the entire game. To get plus odds on that, I think it's very likely that it happens.
And in a close game too. Like, I mean, most likely you would imagine, because all of the Chiefs games are within a score, because that's what the NFL
and
wants.
All it takes is a stupid penalty, like on an extra point, and then the team's gonna quarterback sneak it into the end zone,
And both teams take a lot of risk on special teams.
Yeah. The other one I really like, and he hasn't been used hardly at all lately over the past 3-4 weeks, is DeAndre Hopkins. Anytime touchdown is at plus 650. He's a sure-handed receiver. If they get in the red zone and Mahomes is just looking to throw it up to somebody, he's going to be one of the guys. So I think for plus 650, that's a great value bet right there.
Yeah, I like it. Let's see. Rich says, the last time Chiefs and Eagles played Super Bowl, I said to bet on the octopus. It hit. It will happen again in this Super Bowl. So the octopus, of course, is where a player scores the touchdown, and then he turns right around, and the same player also gets the 2-point conversion. Rich, do you remember who hit the octopus by chance? Are they still on one of these teams? So, and is it going to be the same player, or are you thinking Saquon? I don't know. I like it. I like that. And I want to know what the odds are on that. If you happen to know what the odds are there, Rich. Obviously, another fun one is the coin toss. I always go tails. Tails never fails until you bet it. But flea flicker, they got a flea flicker bet. Is there going to be a flea flicker? It's at plus 250 for yes, at minus 330 for no. Statistics would suggest no, but the trickery that you get out of the Kansas City Chiefs could suggest possibly. So,
and there's nothing like that coin toss bet to show your friends and family at a Super Bowl party just how big of a degenerate you are when you're standing around the TV 5 inches away screaming whether it's heads or tails.
Yeah, there's really no win in that situation because, like, if you win, you're super excited and everybody's like, yeah, you won on a coin toss. And then if you lose, everybody's laughing because you bet on a coin toss and you lost. So, yeah, it's a no-win situation there. Have you seen one about the color of the Gatorade yet?
No. See, in New York, they don't allow all these like funky bets like that. Like they won't even let us bet on MVP for the game. So I don't get to see those. Player to record an octopus, though, is available, but you have to pick the player on this one.
Okay, what are the odds for Saquon?
Plus 2,000.
Plus 2,000, and then
$100 bet gets you $2,000.
And then Goddard and Kelsey come to mind for some reason, just because of the 2-point conversion mostly.
Kelsey is 10,000. Goddard is 11,000.
Wow. Yeah, that might be one of those tight ends. Might be worth it.
I like with the octopus. I like the quarterbacks because if you get lucky enough that the quarterback runs it in for a touchdown, and then, like I said, one penalty, and you got that quarterback sneak, and he's right there to pick the octopus up.
Yeah, and especially Hurts for sure.
Yeah.
See, will there be a successful onside kick? That's plus 2,500 if you say yes. They don't give no as an option, which makes sense because it's not going to happen.
Rich
Yardage props.
Hurts will hit it this time.
All right, I like it.
What'd you think about my Juju play? Do you like that? 16 and a half yards?
Yeah, 16 and a half yards is nothing. He just that's one play. Like all you need is one play of the 65 plus plays they're going to have. You're going to need one of them to be a 16-yard first down catch. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's
he had 2 30-yarders in the Buffalo game last week, or not last week, last game.
Yeah, I think that one's for sure a definite hit. You got anything else?
I'm staying away from Chiefs running backs. Something tells me that they're going to unleash Pacheco.
What do you think of that?
That almost looks invisible with your background.
But
I love it. I love the horn or whatever.
Viking horn. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was from my son, a little Christmas gift.
What do you think on the Chiefs running backs? Do you think Hunt's a safe play, or I don't know? It just scares me.
What's the line on those, or the yardage on those?
Hunt's only at 43.5. I mean, Pacheco's at nothing. He's at 21.5. But it scares me that they're just going to unleash Pacheco.
Yeah, I'd go Pacheco for sure. For sure. I would even probably move that line a little bit.
I bet him the last 2 games and lost on him because he's done nothing. But I just keep feeling like they're going to unleash him.
Well, the reason that it's so low is because the Eagles' defense is so good. It makes sense. But that Chiefs offense, they're not going to miss in the Super Bowl. The NFL wouldn't let that happen. They're all going to get decent chunk yards here and there.
And how about Barkley? He's at 109.5. I think that's the lowest.
Is that total?
Total over 109.5 for rushing.
He's gonna play like a madman. If he sprains his ankle in the first quarter, he's playing on one ankle the rest of the game. He's waited his entire career for this moment. I think 109 is a good line. I really do. I think that could
probably
be close because of how tough.
Bowl playoffs.
Again, that's because of that Kansas City defense, but I think he gets it.
Do you like 109 better, or do you like his longest rush at 24.5? I kind of like 24.5 for a longest rush.
Yeah, 24.5 definitely.
I feel like he's just good for one big run a game.
Yeah, just enough to piss me off.
What about over under? I'm kind of leaning the under 48.5. I think it's a good line. I think it could go either way, but I'm probably leaning the under if I had to bet. I'll probably stay.
I'd go under. We're looking at about 25, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
27, 20.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that both offenses are just as good as their defenses.
Yeah.
So, that's a tough line right there. I would probably avoid that bet altogether, but if I had to place a bet, I'd go with the under.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because I lost last week. I did a prop bet that was very similar to that. Let me see. We have those written down. I did any team to score 30-plus points with the Bills and the Chiefs, and the Chiefs got that cheap call at the end of the Chiefs got the cheap call that got them to be able to get closer to do that 2-point conversion, and that was just enough to put them at 31, where they were sitting at 29, and then that was only set up because of the horrible call that should have been a first down that wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would have won the bet if the refs would have just called the game like it should have been called. So that's why I'm hesitant. And I thought that one was a super close line last week too. So now I'm hesitant because I think this one is a crazy good line, but you never know what's going to happen with the officiating. So, I can't. I think I'm avoiding that one.
Yeah, other than that, I don't really have much. I mean, they do have the Triple Crown you can bet where you can pick your players that are going to have the most passing, most receiving, and most rushing yards. Who would you go with there if you had to?
Say that again.
Most passing, most receiving, and most rushing yards. You pick one player for each, and then based on who you choose, they all have odds.
Most rushing is definitely Saquon. I think that one's the easiest. Most passing, likely going to be probably going to be Mahomes there, I would imagine, especially if you count penalty yards. And then most receiving, even though he's most passing, Mahomes is most passing, I'm still going to go with Brown as most receiving. Unless, if that Devonta Smith shows up that's lightning fast again, he could easily break for 125 yards with no problem. Against that Kansas City secondary. But I think overall, Mahomes has more weapons. He's going to throw the ball more. So I'm going to give the passing to Mahomes. I'm going to go A.J. Brown on the receiving end.
So here's two I think I'm going to sprinkle. So you went Mahomes, A.J. Brown, and Barkley.
Yeah.
That's plus 600. I'm looking at these two much higher odds. With Jalen Hurts, with the thought process being the Chiefs are winning and Hurts is forced to throw more at the end of the game. Travis Kelce for receiving yards. If he just blew up, Zach Ertz went for how many yards last week and scored a touchdown? Like
That was like 8 receptions to like, or no more than that. It was like 9 receptions. Yeah, dude tore it up.
If old Ertz can do that, I mean, I'm sure Kelce can have a big game. So Hurts, Kelce, and then obviously Barkley is plus 3,100. And then if you don't like Kelce and want to throw somebody like Xavier Worthy in there instead, that's plus 4,500.
Yeah, no, I don't like Xavier Worthy for that stat, but yeah, Kelce could definitely be interesting, especially for the payout. Rich says that the Gatorade was
$10 bet on either of those is like $300, $400 payout. So
yeah,
nice little sprinkle.
Rich says that the Gatorade for the Chiefs' last 2 Super Bowls was purple, which upsets me because that's what I would have bet was purple. But now I'm thinking maybe orange. I think you don't go 3 in a row, right? Unless you don't want to break tradition, maybe. Oof.
True.
But hey, we've got a scoregami bet on DraftKings too. For a $10 bet, you could win 260 if the final score is one that has never happened in NFL history before.
They're running out too, though. Scoregamis have been hit lately. So I wonder how many there's actually left.
I don't know. Go on to the next one. I'll see if I can chat GPT it.
Yeah, I was running out of bets here, so I don't know. Let's see. Looking through a couple of these game specials they have here. Each team to score a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. Ooh, I kind of like this. Each team to score a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown in each half, plus 7,500. So that's just 4 or yeah.
Okay. All right, I have an answer on the scoregami according to ChatGPT. So they don't count scores higher than 50 because after 50 it just becomes like infinite. So the only 2 possibilities that are left with both teams being under 50 points is 33-25 and 44-21. Like, so we're looking at 33-25 as our only real possible chance here.
That's crazy that there's only 2 left.
Right, especially with as many that have hit this year. But so the 44-21, that's a 2-score game. That's 13 points. We're not going to see that this year in the Super Bowl. We're also not going to see one of these teams drop 44 on the other defense. So that one's out. So you're making this $10 bet to win 260, and you need the score to be 33-25. There's no way. Like that payout should be way, way bigger than.
So are you telling me that
plus 2,500?
Does that factor in any low scores as well? Like, so you're telling me that there's been an NFL game that was 2-5?
I'm going to find out.
That seems insane.
Oh, no, it says 2-5 has never occurred. The lowest score game was a 0-0 tie.
See, stupid AI, you can't trust it. Oh, I just found it. Oh, Jesus. I found a NFL Scoregami website. Here, let me share my screen because I don't even know to be honest.
There you go. There you go.
All right, let's do this.
Duarte's got some here for us. MVP Super Bowl Patrick Mahomes plus 105. Saquon Barkley plus 240. Jalen is plus 375. Kelsey plus 1,500. Worthy plus 3,000. Wow, Worthy has better odds than A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's plus 3,500. Kareem Hunt plus 6,600. We have seen running backs get it in the past. It's been a while, but we've seen it. Devonta Smith plus 6,600. Jalen Carter plus 6,600. So, it's going to be Pat Mahomes, and that's why he's the lowest odds. But Saquon at 240 having the more likely odds than Jalen Hurts is kind of funny to me, since they are so heavily towards the quarterback. I think everybody sees just how special Saquon's been this year. Carter 1.5 sacks. Yeah, I like that one too. Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to want to see a lot of good sacks in this game. I want to see guys get lit up because I don't really like players on either team.
Okay. So all these gray spots are what's available. The green,
wow.
how many times they've hit. So there's actually quite a lot of possibilities.
So what you're saying is I should not have ChatGPT update my resume for me.
Probably not. Yeah. I'm going to go with a big no on that one.
Okay, well, the ones are out because you're never going to have a score of 1.
Yeah, because I think they're black. The black spots are like not physically possible.
Well, no, because if you look at it on the losing team side where it says 1, all of them are gray all the way across there. So that's like there's no way you're ever going to have. Oh, wait a minute. No, if they block the extra point and return it for a touchdown, they only get 1 point. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. So, well, then 4-1 should be possible. Oh, no, because the winning team would have had to have scored a touchdown to kick the extra point.
True. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll never fill this. There's no way.
Yeah.
So a lot of 4s available out there. %10 chance.
Yeah, I don't know if that really did anything, right?
I didn't see anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun.
All right. Yep. Sorry for those of you that had to zoom in. All right.
Are you having any big parties for the Super Bowl?
My sister's having a party. I'm probably gonna go so I can watch the commercials and at least pay attention to the Super Bowl squares, because we did run some Super Bowl squares with some of the title tribe, and then I filled the rest of it with my family and my sister's friends. So we'll be doing that. Sorry I didn't run a second Super Bowl square, guys. I just wasn't feeling it. Just not in the mood. Probably should have, just so I'd have one to play in, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they would have just found a way to piss me off, I'm sure. I know which square I was going to choose, so I'll at least know if I would have won. So,
how about the kick of destiny, Eli or Peyton?
Neither. I hope they both miss miserably. And I'm a fan of both, but I just think it'd be comical to see them both miss miserably. But no, and so, all right. So let's talk about who we want to win and then who we think are going to win. So I've already said I feel like I want the Chiefs just because of my hatred for the Eagles. And I honestly think that it's going to come down to them giving them a three-peat. I think it's been in the cards all season.
Like I said, I want the Chiefs to win. Don't want the Eagles to win. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I don't think they're going to be hand-gifted it, but I think they are going to win.
Yeah, my sister-in-law's a big fan of Kermit the Frog, so she's chiming in to say she wants her Mahomes daddy to win. But let's see. Now, what I actually really want to see happen, this is what I want to see happen. I want this to happen in the middle of the night when there's nobody at the stadium and nobody gets hurt. But I want a small, because even a small meteor can cause a lot of damage. I want a small meteor to hit right in the middle of the field, just enough to damage the field so that we have to postpone it a little while, change it to a new venue. Then Goodell swaps it out. We go to a new venue. Next week we have all of this again, and just before like a night or two before the kickoff, it happens again. Like craziness. It's just another meteor hits in the middle of the next field. So then they change venues again another week. And we do this 3 or 4 times before Goodell realizes that maybe even God himself does not want to see this game happen. And for the first time in the Super Bowl era, we go all the way through the entire season without getting a crowned Super Bowl champion. That's what I want. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but that's what I want.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that these views are Justin's views and Justin's views alone. They don't represent us as a whole or the toilets to titles community.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely not going to have you try to do the disclaimers. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, at least I wasn't wishing a explosion and no Super Bowl to be played for the year.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to get hurt though. I want it to happen in the middle of the night. Nobody's at the stadium. It's a small one, so it doesn't like collapse the stadium. I just want to see the field get so tore up that they can't be played on.
What about the community financially being hurt by that?
That's on the NFL. That's their fault.
There we go.
Fire Goodell for natural disasters.
I didn't. However, I didn't say it.
Well, she's been trying to mute me for 2.5 decades now. Let's see. What else do we got here? So we will be, I would imagine next week we'll be talking about, the Super Bowl, our favorite commercials, all that sort of stuff. We might be able to do the divisional draft update show next week. That would be nice. I'm saving that for a week that Nate will be able to come back on. So hopefully that's next week. We'll see. But yeah.
Do we have any update on the potential fandom of one Justin Stevens?
Well, earlier you posted something about Cooper Kupp in the Discord. Yeah. Well, actually, I think that was our private chat, but still, it could have been in the Discord. And again, in our Discord, it's a free Discord for anybody. You don't have to be a Patreon. But if you are a Patreon, patreon.com/choicelesstitles, we can get you in the Patreon-only chat within the channel. But yeah, you had mentioned something about Cooper Kupp leaving and the trade, and you wanted to talk about that tonight, obviously. And my response was, I would love to see Cooper Kupp come to the Broncos, the Colts. So pretty good chance it's going to be the Broncos. And Rich is still watching. So Rich, my man, I'm sorry. It's not, it's more of a hatred for the Chiefs that's got me wanting to root for an AFC West team, but I only want to root for one that I feel like consistently, constantly, always tries to do what's best for the organization to try to help them win at that time. And unfortunately, just your Raiders just don't do it for me. Like they're a lot like the Colts. They have opportunities and they don't take them. So, but yeah, I don't blame you there. Rich doesn't want the Chiefs to win. Big arch rivals there with his Raiders. Missy, I don't hate you. If I hated you, I would have blocked you on here a long time ago. Those are dirty words. Yeah. Well, let's see. We probably need to wrap this thing up. I know it's a little bit short, but we really just wanted to talk about the Super Bowl. And here's a good one. So you mentioned Super Bowl parties. You taking any food? Are you going to a party? And if so, are you taking any food with you? Any chicken tenders?
Well, yeah, I'll definitely have chicken tenders there, because I got to eat. So, but no, I go out of town for the Super Bowl every year. I got family in Scranton, Pennsylvania. They always have a big Super Bowl party, so I go up there. Probably go for the whole weekend. So,
Yeah.
yep,
Is Scranton the Scranton from The Office? Is Scranton, PA, the
correct.
Scranton from the
That
Yeah.
is correct.
That's what I thought. I didn't know if they always tried to make it like a fictional town and they just happened to name it Scranton. But when they talk about it like it's in Pennsylvania and like it's close to Jersey and New York and all that. So I always kind of figured that it was. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's awesome.
they mentioned I think the building it's supposed to be is actually a real building, but it's not like the office building from the show, but they have it like a real building. And they've mentioned like local areas down there too in the show. So yeah, it's a real town.
I had to go to the hospital earlier this week and they came in to release me again. I had been sitting there watching The Office from the bed the whole time. I mean, obviously it's the ER; it takes forever. So I got to see like 5 or 6 episodes, and then the lady comes in, and they were super busy. But the lady comes in and says that I'm released to go and all this, and I was like, "Do you mind if I just like finish this episode?" And she was like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Stevens, we really need the room." I was
You
like,
gotta go, dude.
"All right, come on." As Melissa, you are 100 right. Chiefs is a dirty word. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, I think we hit all the major talking points. But yeah. I mean, I don't know what my sister's gonna have at the Super Bowl, but she usually makes these awesome jalapeno poppers wrapped in bacon. Those are pretty nice. And then you gotta have chicken wings. Like that's just a must. So maybe some barbecue wings. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
We always have my aunt makes these vodka gummy bears. You ever had those?
I've had vodka Jello shooters, but never gummy bears.
So you get one of those industrial sized bags of gummy bears. Then you get like a raspberry vodka. You put them on a pan, and the pan's got to be like enough that it can hold liquid too, not just like a flat one. But you put it in a pan that can hold. Pour all the vodka in there, and then put them in the refrigerator, and the gummy bears absorb the vodka over time. So then
Nice.
next day, you got some nice vodka gummies.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful though. Start throwing those down. You'll go to stand up and you'll feel it real quick.
Yeah. So yeah, she's excited about. You had her excited at the vodka, but the thing is, she's a lightweight, so she'd have one and she'd be done for the night. She'd be well, I better not say that. But Missy, let's just say that I almost mentioned Daryl Dixon. She knows what I'm saying.
Apparently she does. You better stop.
All right. Well, let's get off here, man. Let's enjoy the game as best you can. Sorry it wasn't super structured this week, guys, but like I said, just mostly talking Super Bowl, hanging out, having some fun. We are going to start getting more into the draft content and rookie content and that sort of stuff. Hopefully have our man Dynasty Dog Mike on to talk about his article real soon. Maybe we can do that next week or something too. I'm sure he'd be excited to talk about Super Bowl as well. But yeah, we'll have some Super Bowl talk next week. Definitely go check out that article, toiletsandtitles.com. It's the leading head article up there right now. A lot of good insight on the ups and downs, the positives and negatives that he saw from several of the players at the Senior Bowl. Like I said, he was up close and personal. If you guys have ever been there to the Senior Bowl, you know what I'm talking about. You get all access to all the players, and he took full advantage of it, interviewing some of his favorite guys and then some guys that he just knew would be popular for others to watch. So make sure you check it out. and show him some love. And then, like I said, if you comment on Blue Sky and like us and follow us on Blue Sky, you can get put in for that entry for the Frankenstein. And then, of course, always hit up at MT Simon over on X and DM him with any questions. You can DM me at Toilets to Titles on Blue Sky if you want in on that Discord chat. We can get you set up there for a limited time. We're still available on X at Toilets to Titles as well. Not really getting any action or traction on X anymore, so that one's going to be going out soon. But if you for now, just let us know, and we'll get you in on that Discord as well there too. And if we start gaining more traction on X, then who knows? Maybe we'll stick around with it. But it's just kind of difficult for me to keep going back and forth and copy and paste and posting on all the different socials when. If we're not getting traction on some of them, I might just let it go. But so yeah. All right. We need to get off here, but these two just start hashing it out. So
we'll give them
Mark,
a little chat,
Yeah. Did I miss anything, my man?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Very good. That's a wrap, y'all. There you go. Best you can.
Podcast out there. We're grateful you chose Toilets to Titles. We give fantasy football advice to get your crap team to the finals. From Nate's cousin Eddie Persona and his unapologetic love for Chubb, and Justin's hatred for Chris Ballard, our show is as good as a belly rub. Mark is the best of the